what's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about foreigners' opinions on living in Norway. What do people who move to Norway think about life there? That is what I am curious about learning today. If I had to guess, I would think that most people have pretty nice things to say about living in Norway, right? But you never know, do you? You never know. So I'm very curious what people have to say about life in Norway and Norwegians in general. So let's take a look.
Let's find out foreigners' true opinion about Norway and Norwegians.
Oh.
It's so weird, like, it's so strange.
I've learned to pretend that I like it.
I'm a foreigner myself.
What? What? Wait a minute. What is this? Is this baiting me? Is this to bait me into thinking they're going to say bad things?
So strange.
So strange. How is Norway? So strange. So strange.
I've learned to pretend that I like it.
I'm a foreigner myself, but I have no opinions. So, let's see what they have to say.
Okay. Okay, so these are people who have moved to Norway and what they think about living in Norway now.
Why do you live here in Norway?
I came here for love.
L'amour.
Love?
Exactement.
I came for work and then ended up being here for love.
I moved.
What? This is not what I was expecting. This is not the direction I thought this would go. These people are... I thought people would go to Norway for work. Maybe just for a better, life, better government, to be happier. You know, Norway's a beautiful, peaceful place to live. But love? Going to Norway for love? I didn't know. People did that. You know what? Great. That's great.
Moved here from Colombia, actually.
I have a little bit of Colombian blood, one can imagine.
From where? I cannot see it. It's not very evident. Even less. Nope. Well, I moved here for love, but decided to stay for work.
They moved here for love. What is Norway the country of love? What is this? Maybe they met a Norwegian and fell in love and wanted to move there to live with them? Or do you just move to Norway to fall in love? I've never heard this before.
I'm also here for love. I came for all the girls, stayed for one girl. How about that, huh? How long have you lived here, Carl?
Close to 9 years.
3 years and a half,
Wow.
actually almost 4.
I've been in Norway for 13 years.
I feel
Wow.
more Norwegian.
Wow. So these people have been in Norway for a while. This is good. This is actually people who have lived in Norway up to 13 years. That's a long time. That's enough time to really, get accustomed and understand about the Norwegian culture, I think. So this is good.
I feel more Norwegian than I do Irish. Sometimes.
Wow.
Anyway.
What is the most surprising information you have learned about Norway or Norwegians?
I think it's the work-life balance. When you just switch off at 2 o'clock on a Friday and then you just disappear to go to a cabin.
They're
2 o'clock on a Friday? 2 o'clock? Norwegians can get off work at 2 o'clock? Is that normal? I know Norwegians leave a little early on Fridays, right? I thought it was 4. What's this 2 o'clock stuff? What? And Norwegians have a really big emphasis on work-life balance. I love that. That is, especially coming from, an American point of view, here in the United States, we have a terrible work-life balance. Most people really work jobs they don't like so that they can afford stuff. The job is just a job. And you kind of you kind of spend most of your life focusing on work. Whereas in Norway, I think they say you work so that you can live, so that you can enjoy life. Whereas Americans tend to really focus and stress and worry about work. And it's not a good relationship, that's for sure.
a very strong need to be outside whatever the weather.
Have you learned now to like it more?
I've learned to pretend that I like it.
Norwegians have lunchtime 11. That makes no sense.
I have decided that I'm not.
Lunch at 11? Really? Norwegians have lunch at 11? Don't Norwegians have, like, an extra meal, though? Like a meal in between lunch and dinner? Or is it after dinner? I don't know. Lunch at 11 is very early for Americans, yeah.
Joining for 11:30 lunches. I'm sorry. After midday. After midday is legal.
You've literally,
She is upset about the early lunch as well. It's not early in I guess it's just normal in Norway, huh?
had breakfast 2 hours beforehand.
See that they take out like a loaf of bread, slice it, and put like some spread on it, and that's a lunch?
And then also when they take time off throughout the year, like for example, Easter, they just disappear, or in July, it's like 4 weeks. Okay, cool, bye.
Do you appreciate it?
Right.
Oh yeah, I love it though. It's more life than work.
Like,
Exactly, that's what I was trying to say. More life than work. Norwegians really have a deep understanding of how important that is. And here it's more like work than life, for sure. I actually love the Norwegian philosophy on this. It's really good.
life, gotta live it. Give me your best impression of a Norwegian.
Hallo igjen, går det bra, eller?
Ja, det går bra, eller?
Gøy! Gøy å være ute.
They also go up at the end of the sentences. I'm from Oslo.
Yes, exactly like that.
I've heard of this. Is this true? Norwegians go up in pitch, like how it's good in Oslo? Like the pitch raises. It's something to do with like Norwegian vocal patterns or something.
I would agree totally.
I don't know if I can actually say this, but
That was a naughty word.
Huh?
What is the worst thing about Norway?
The beer price is definitely one of the first ones that everyone always talks about.
They actually
I was hoping this would be kind of juicy. I was waiting for him to ask this. Be like, what don't you like about Norway? Because there's a lot of things to praise about Norway. Is there anything people criticize? And this one guy criticized the beer prices, the alcohol prices. Okay. Okay, true.
stole a lot of French words. A bus driver in Norway, it's called buschauffeur, but it actually comes from French chauffeur. And they were like, no, it's not chauffeur, it's chauffeur. And that makes me crazy. It's like Bernet. It's called Béarnaise. It's not called Bernet. And there are so many examples. Don't let me start. Like,
Is Norwegian related to French in some way? Is this true?
We're not gonna start. Chèvre.
oh, this is a French word that they've actually destroyed.
something that it's been rather difficult
Wow.
here, compared to the other countries I've lived in. It's how difficult it's been to make friends with Norwegians.
Because Norwegians are like swans. They make friends and they have them for life, and then it's really hard to then get in.
It's been very difficult sometimes to kind of like break that wall that they seem to have. I don't know. And I've been very lucky to have them, but it took years for me to.
Wow. See, this is actually a big deal. This is almost a criticism. It almost sounds like it's a criticism, but at the same time, it's very cool. It's both. For Norwegians, if you're Norwegian, you probably have friends, lifelong friends, with very, very close bonds. Very close. And you don't let a lot of other people in to your friend group or family circle or whatever it is. And that's awesome, I think. I think it's probably better to have a couple of very, very, very close people than to have a bunch of friends that you barely know or barely connect with. So I really like the Norwegian philosophy on this. But if you're a foreigner, if you're an outsider trying to go to Norway, it makes it very difficult to make friends and try to become part of someone else's like friend circle. But once you do, it has amazing benefits. So this sounds sort of like a criticism, but also a compliment at the same time. This aspect of Norwegian culture, of Norwegians.
To get them, whereas probably in other countries it would have been easier.
Everyone is so fit. You guys are all way too beautiful for me.
Very fit and don't want any friends.
Is this a criticism? It's like everyone is so beautiful. Everyone but me is so beautiful out here in Norway, and they won't be my friend. That's the criticism.
But otherwise, have you gotten any friends since?
Oh yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I meet them though, where? At the gym, where they're also getting fit.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's a hack
At the
though.
gym.
You want Norwegian friends? Get fit with them at the gym. What is the most Norwegian thing you can think of?
Going out for a run at -60 for fun.
It's so
Oh.
weird, like it's so
Oh,
strange.
What is the most
And of course, they show a guy running in the cold. Oh man, that's crazy. I guess Norwegians have to like adapt to existing in cold weather because Norwegian winter and cold is very intense. And Norwegians would just be like depressed and inside all the time if they didn't acclimate to getting out and like getting used to the cold and just doing things anyway. So that's something I think you have to get used to in Norway, huh?
is the most Norwegian thing you can think of?
For sure, 17th of May. Bunads, like everywhere. Weirdly, that's the day I arrived here. So when I first...
Oh, Constitution Day. Celebrating like Norway's like day to celebrate the Constitution and founding. Right. This is, oh man, yeah. This is the day that he arrived in Norway? Oh my god. Where there's like parades and everyone's got bunads and flags and it's a whole thing, right?
arrived, I was like, whoa, Norwegian. Who wears wool when it's 25 degrees out?
Then you figured out that it was a special occasion.
Day, but I never knew anything beforehand.
What would you never have said to a Norwegian?
I'm so sorry, but the food is terrible. The lack of joy and spices and flavor.
This girl has quite a few complaints about Norway, but in funny ways. Maybe compared to the countries they are from, the food is different in Norway, so they kind of miss the food from their home country, I think.
I've been to Stockholm and I enjoy it, and I never told my husband because I know it would break his heart.
That's funny. That's funny. She's been to Sweden. Yes, this is forbidden. Forbidden to say in Norway, right? That you had a nice time in Sweden. You can never admit that you had a nice time in Sweden.
Yeah, I hate Sweden.
There's some good things. There are some good things.
What is the best thing about Norway?
They have good chocolate
They're nice
Chocolate.
and polite.
They're really friendly and welcoming.
and honesty. They don't.
It's funny because they say Norwegians are very friendly and welcoming. But I've also heard Norwegians can be a bit closed off and hard to become friends with. So it's like Norwegians will be very friendly on like a surface level, but it's more difficult to become like lifelong friends, I guess. It's kind of both.
Don't lie. French people lie a lot. Norwegians don't.
What do you have to know about Norwegians before visiting?
Like this idea, the sun is out, so I need to be out. It's been an
Yeah.
experience, and I feel like before I actually took the sun for granted. Not anymore.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is 3 o'clock. They're filming this at 3 o'clock. And it's dark. It's literally dark out at 3:15. Oh my god. That's insane. Yeah, if you're a foreigner moving to Norway, you probably really appreciate the sun. 'Cause like, yeah, growing up here in America, I definitely take the sun for granted, I guess. I've never even thought about that. But that's what taking for granted means, right? Because it's just always there. The winter here, like this year, winter has been nothing. Winter has been so mild. It's winter and the sun is out. And I think we do take it for granted at times, yeah. The sun
What do you have
has
to know
set.
before visiting Norway?
Don't take money out of an ATM. No one will accept it. Some people are like, what do I do with this?
Sometimes it's hard.
Wait, what?
Money out of an ATM. No one will accept it. Some people are like, what do I
Don't use physical money? Is this a thing in Norway? Is this actually true? You should avoid using physical cash money, Norwegian kroner bills. What? You should just use like your credit card or debit card? Is that what he's saying? Norwegians prefer to do electronic? Like there's actually places that won't take the physical bills? That's here in America, yeah, pretty much everywhere will take money, real money. I've never heard of this before. Is this true? Norwegians don't like to use physical money, really?
do with this?
Sometimes it's hard to understand if they have feelings. But they do. It just took years for me to get it.
What is truth worth if you don't have feelings, right?
It took her years to understand Norwegians have feelings. Wow. I guess because it's tough to like get Norwegians to be friendly and open up on a deeper level. I think that's what she means.
Thank you very much, Carl.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cecile.
Thank you, Doug.
Så hygglig. Jag får en kläm. Today we have three
Wow.
foreigners speaking their mind about Norway and Norwegians. I agreed with basically everything they said. Some things are tough, some things are easy, many things are interesting, but it's Norway and it's Norwegians, and I love it. I will see you in the next video.
Very good. That was very enjoyable. That was very insightful as well. This was by Visit Norway, and I gotta give that a like. I did like that video. They actually found 3 people who moved to Norway from different places and have stayed in Norway for years, and hearing their point of view was really fun. Actually, really, really fun. They had a lot of nice things to say about Norway, but to my surprise, although it makes sense now that I think about it, they had some complaints. They had some, not complaints, but culture shock. Differences in culture. That one woman looked genuinely like sad about how difficult it can be to make friends in Norway. Some of them complained about the food, the friends, everyone is beautiful. But they all said they really, and that the sun goes down and that it's cold. So there were a couple of adjustments they were still making to life in Norway. But they had a lot of really nice things to say as well. So that was interesting, hearing their point of view, both good and bad. I thought that was actually really kind of productive and great to hear their point of view as well, as outsiders looking at Norway, living there, and living there. That was very interesting. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on your opinion on Norway, or what these people thought about Norway, if it was accurate or not. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.